You're making noises, dude. Pretend you're a Harley Davidson. First year, really. Well, first new year you've just had. Don't be shy at the camera. What was that? Pretend you're a Harley, the good boy. Hello everyone and welcome to the first vlog of 2020. We are actually out for a little family excursion at the moment with the bear, who likes to currently pretend that he's a Harley Davidson. Makes sense? At least we know he's in the biker family, do you know what I mean? It has been a minute since we've done a vlog actually, and it's been a minute since you've been in a video, to be completely honest as well. Why is that, Gabi? How long has it been since you've been riding motorcycles, Gabi?
Well, it counts like 9 months of pregnancy plus 4 months.
Basically a fuckload of time she has not been riding, and it's actually gotten to the point now where your motorcycle, God rest its soul, is where currently sitting in the garage with a very, very flat front tyre. You should be ashamed of yourself. First of all, Leo, hello everybody. The critics always say they want Leo, here is Leo. So that cuts a end to our family excursion right now. Ollie Bear doesn't want to be in his harness anymore, so I'm carrying the snowflake. So we're heading back home now, and then I'm going to pop out on the bike because it's getting a time where it's going to be quite sunsetty. So I actually want to get out and do a little bit of a ride around on the motorcycle for once. We haven't done it in a while. And I've got to tell you some irritating stuff about our motorbikes and actually kind of give you a reason as to why Gabi actually hasn't been riding. It's not really her own fault. It's a bit of a ball ache, but I'll go into that in just a second, so stay tuned. Okay, so the moment of truth. I haven't ridden the KTM in about 2 weeks. Servicing 369 kilometers. Oh shit. And she's alive! She's alive! Oh! People who say that the KTM RC8 bikes have a greedy battery, you're probably right, but not on this time. Ha ha ha. Oh man, look at this sunset. Stunning, right? It's a little bit nippy though, I must say. It's not super duper warm. It's like 10 degrees or something like that, maybe less than 10. I don't know why I'm complaining. Where are you going, Mr. Peugeot? Wow. Fucking moron. Why is he? He's literally backing out onto a roundabout. Onto a blind roundabout. He's literally backing up. He's just like, ah! No point. He's like, ah, it's fine. No one gives a fuck here around here. It's Spain. No one's gonna be coming, you know, around the corner at a bazillion kilometers an hour. No, 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 no! When of course they all are. It's so easy to go mentally fast on this bike. I don't understand why people don't like V-twins more. Oh, you got a V-twin, blah blah blah. My inline 4 is faster. Yes, Jeffrey, your inline 4 may be faster in a straight line on a track, but on any type of road or circuit with like a fuckload of turns, I win every single time. Me, me, me. Unless you haven't seen the video, we just did a dyno on this bike, a 2010 RC8. Completely bog standard, this bike. It's got no performance modifications, nothing, absolutely nothing. And it pulled 130 horsepower at the wheel, which is very respectful, very respectful. And secondly, it had the exact same torque numbers as a full tuned race spec Panigale V4R. Exactly the same, like to the decimal point, man. That is just insane. For a bike that is 10 years old now, God bless her. Amazing job. Secondly, it's because of the way that the V-twin engine is made, it's like that, instead of like that. You have a very like lightweight motorcycle that turns just like a 600. So you have the insane power on a light turning twisty motorbike. Like, I'm probably fucking mental to sell this bike, I've got to say. Like, I don't know why I'm doing it, to be honest, sometimes. Even now I'm just like, I don't know why. I don't know. Why would I do this? Dumb fucker. So around Alicante, it's like super duper industrial around here. So as you can see, it's strange because you go from like town to town, and in between, nothing. Like, unless you get some like weird industrial place like Iveco, I don't know what that is. And then you get these like insane sunsets like over there. Just wow, man. Ooh. Did not like that high gear acceleration though. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I actually got a biker behind me, very nice. Oh. Oh! Don't do this to me. Fucking hell. Oh, KTM! What the fuck was that about? Just like, I'm gonna stop and make you look like a cunt. Oh, that fucking car's from Andorra. What the tit? Right, so this here is a Spanish speed camera. Right, that inconspicuous grey box. Whereas in the UK and stuff, everything's painted yellow, which is fantastic. But in Spain, it's just like, oh, we're gonna hide this motherfucker right here. You ain't gonna see shit, son. Little kids love the KTM. So do big kids like me. Hope they weren't trolling the living fuck out of me and another speed camera was right by. Oh, hello. Everyone looks so happy on that bus. Full of joy. Full of joy, full of happiness, full of life. The other thing as well is that in the UK you have the lines of the speed cameras because they know, that's when they know where you are. Whereas in Spain it's like all radar based, so I don't know if the fucking thing is still tracking me now. I have not, I'm already going over, fuck it, whatever. Now I was trying to find a place I could take some pictures, but I think that dream has officially ended. Problem at the moment is actually this bike is actually illegal. Fingers crossed it's now legal. By Spanish standards, because we've trying to register our bikes here in Spain, so we're trying to get the KTM registered, and that's part of the reason why I'm still running on English plates, and we're trying to get the BMW registered as well. Although the BMW is without a doubt so much more complicated to get done than this bike is. Like, it's legitimately jokes, man, how tough it is to get that thing registered. And that's part of the reason why Gabi hasn't been riding. Not because she hasn't wanted to since giving birth to Ollie. Like, she 100% would have if she had a bike that was working. Now, the question is, can I just loop round? I think I can. You know, if she had a bike that was actually operational, then, you know, she'd be riding. It's not out of her own decision that she's not riding. It's unfortunately the situation. We spoke about this on the podcast the other night, but basically in Spain, okay, if you do an MOT in Spain and your bike or your car is on a Spanish reg, it's still pretty complicated compared to the UK. Everything still has to be standard, right? Even if you have a Spanish reg vehicle, everything still has to be standard. Which is, you know, not like the UK. In the UK you can get away with certain things, and in all honesty, if your modified motorcycle in the UK can pass an MOT, then it's road legal, even if you've done things like chop and change on the swing arm and stuff like that. But in Spain, it's not the case. If you make any sort of like modifications to your bike, whether that be performance mods or anything sort of cosmetic that dramatically kind of alters the weight or the height or the length of the motorcycle, these guys will think I'm a twat because I'm driving the speed limit. But I don't want to get dinged by the Spanish radars. And you can pretty much get away with that in UK, but in Spain, if you do any of that, it has to be done by a registered technician. So they actually have to have all super boring documentation to like prove that like your bike is actually safe to drive, instead of doing it at the MOT center, which in theory, in my opinion, is they should be able to do. Like, it's a fucking joke that they can't tell you at an ITV, they call it ITV here,
at an ITV station if your bike is not road legal or not, even if it's had mods. Like, I don't understand. Isn't that their job to like check the roadworthiness of vehicles, or is that just me? But unfortunately, Spain is a fantastic country, but unfortunately, it is a little bit bureaucratic, and there's a lot of people trying to make money out of you. A lot of government agencies trying to make money out of you, and I think at least 20% of the Spanish population is employed by the government. So that makes sense, right? That they would have all these very stringent checks. But it gets even more complicated if your bike is a foreign motorcycle or car with customizations and it's not standard. If your bike is not standard as fuck, how stunning is that view though? It's pretty nice. If your bike is not standard, like to how it came out of the factory, you are basically, you need to put it back to standard before you pass any sort of registration checks if you're trying to get your vehicle registered on a Spanish number plate. If it's been dramatically altered, you'll need to go to this basically is a massive joke. Because Gabi's K75 has had a sub-chassis modification, so we've basically changed like the non-structural part of the frame. So that's completely legal in every other country, pretty much. Most, like in the UK and the US, I'm pretty sure that's legal. But in Spain and some of the other European continents, you have to have it validated by an engineer. So it's not just like a mechanic, right? You don't just go to an IDV station and they register it for you. It legitimately has to be done by a guy with a certification whose like job is checking over vehicles. And what they do is they actually look at stuff like the distance between your front wheel and your rear wheel, the weight, the emissions. Like they check everything. And so it's really expensive, but it's also really hard to find somebody that's able to do that, because you got to have a special like qualification, certification type situation. Honestly, it's a fucking ball ache. And my bike was fine. I didn't really have any issues with mine. The only thing that they said that I needed to get changed was the foot pegs and the rear seat, because I have a rear pillion seat. Oh, ZX6R over there. Because I didn't have a rear pillion seat on my KTM. They failed the test. They said you can't, this is not standard bike. It says 2 seats, you only have 1 seat, you fail. And I was a little bit shocked by this, because I was like, well, quite honestly, mate, there's no way in hell I'm having anyone on the back of this. And in the UK, they probably would have been like, yeah, no, that's totally fine. But in Spain, they I don't know why they do it, but they want it to be standard, or they're going to be like slightly difficult with you, because I'm an English guy. I don't know. I know Spanish people have passed their motorbikes without any issue where it hasn't been standard, but with me and a lot of the English blokes who I've talked to who ride bikes out here, they've all had a similar story of like one tiny little thing, like rear pillion seat not being on the bike, and they fail you. So this bike basically will fail an ITV, so I had to go out and buy a rear pillion seat, because this KTM, when I bought it, it didn't come with a rear pillion seat. Like who the fuck would put a pillion on this bike? Like, in all honesty, the first owner probably just sold it to make a little bit of cash. Not gonna lie, that's probably what happened. And so I think it's a fucking jokes, mate, in all honesty. So I had to go and find one, and the fucking thing was like £150, which is a joke. It's a little fucking cushion. It was 150 fucking pounds. Like, what? It's mad. Speaking about madness, around here is like absolutely mental. Like, what the fuck? Changing lane on a roundabout. Like, I've seen so many accidents on that roundabout, you have no idea. How cool is this, by the way? This is a little magnetic tire pressure monitoring system that I have by I think it's a TPS Go. I think I'll put the link in the description, but it's a great little thing. It's telling me right now I have 22 psi in the front, a little bit low, but we put it a bit low anyway. And I think I have like 30 odd something in the rear, 35. A pretty cool little thing, totally wireless. I haven't charged it since I've had it. I've had it about definitely over a month now without charging it. It's still pretty much on full. Fucking awesome little gadget, mate. So there's probably going to be loads of people in town at the moment, because it's like what they call 3 kings here in Spain. Catholic country, so Spain is a Catholic country. And they celebrate the coming of the 3 kings around this time in January. So that's actually tomorrow. So tomorrow's a bank holiday, so there should be a load of people out partying right now. But this is like the main promenade, essentially. This promenade is super famous. It's like really, really long. So I'm getting some culture into my subscribers. Oi, oi, oi! Fucking bell end. Alright, look, he's speeding away now, Mr. Speedy Gonzales. Nice little waterfall, as you do. As you do. Oh, dude, that thing sounds sick. Oh, it's a Golf! It's an old Golf GTI! Oh, that's so sick. He's got like some modded exhaust and some modded rims on that fucker. Damn. I usually don't like riding in the dark, but it's actually quite nice around here because it's relatively bright. It's not too dark.